Hey, what's up guys? This is me, Nisi of Spoil Me Nisi, back with another video. I hope you're all doing very well. So I would like to give my reaction or my 2 cents on the Chris and Paige situation from tonight's episode of Married at First Sight Season 12, Reunion Part 1. Chris and Paige did bring the drama in tonight's episode, as always. They've been the drama the whole season. In fact, the season fell flat without them. So anyway, yeah, a lot of drama this episode. Now, Chris and Paige did start off on a good note with Chris, pretty much, apologizing and, saying all the right things, but was it genuine? And by the end of the episode, he ended up walking out pretty much looking like the crazy guy, looking like the bad guy. But is Chris really the bad guy? So I'll get into it in this video. Now, I do know that this video is going to have some unpopular opinions about both Chris and Paige, as well as Pastor Dwight and the show as a whole. So without further ado, let's get into my views. So let's start with the beginning of Paige and Chris on this episode. It pretty much started off with, them pretty much, showing, how everything started and where everything went wrong in the show, and it shows that from jump, Chris was not very happy with Paige. It pretty much takes the viewers and Paige on a walk down memory lane to where Chris's unhappiness started, and that was pretty much at the altar. And it was really disturbing and sad to hear Paige say that she felt like when she got married, it was both her wedding and her funeral at the same time. I took it like a part of her died throughout this process, and I really do feel for Paige, because even though she's a strong girl and you can tell she's holding her head up high, you can tell that a lot of what has happened in her time on this show has broken her spirit. So I do hope and pray that, she gets through that, and that all of that is really unfortunate. Not only was she cheated in experience, but she was also kind of humiliated in the process, and not just by Chris, mostly by Chris, but also by the producers of the show. So I'm going to start out with the producers, and then we'll go into Chris. So the producers, I don't know if you guys remember, but at the beginning of the show, around episode 1 or 2, before they knew who they were going to pair together, I remember Pastor Cal knew from jump that Chris would not be attracted to Paige. He pretty much insinuated that in that episode. And if you go back to the beginning episodes, he did say that. Pastor Cal didn't say anything about how Paige looks. He just said that he doesn't know if Chris would be attracted to him. But they paired Chris and Paige together anyway. The ladies made the final decision. They felt they knew it all, and they were wrong, and personally, I think that there's more to that, just like I blame Chris for a lot of things that he did on the show. I also blame Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper and Viviana as well, and also the producers of the show, because personally, I believe that they pick and choose what footage they want to show on the actual episode. They create a narrative, and they definitely do create things for ratings. Now, I'm not saying that Chris did not give them the material to do it, but I do think there's more to this whole story than what meets the eye. I think I believe that they put Chris with Paige on purpose, knowing that he would not like her. And, I don't care what Pastor Cal says. I don't care what Dr. Pepper says. I don't care what Viviana says. I truly believe that was done purposely, on the show. Because, Pastor Cal really tried to fight for that situation not to happen, and they just didn't listen to him. So that tells me it was done on purpose. They were looking for ratings. There you go. But one thing that I thought was pretty messed up is, the part of the reunion where Pastor Cal is talking to Chris, and he's pretty much asking Chris, what is it exactly that he does not like about Paige? Now, see, I don't appreciate the fact that they aired that scene. And the reason why I don't appreciate the fact that they aired it is because Chris was pretty vocal in his own way since the beginning. He was pretty vocal in the fact that, he was not attracted to Paige at all. And I don't think that they needed to dive any further into that. He had been saying that from jump. He said that he didn't find her attractive and he didn't find her pretty. My thing is this, if Chris is telling you that he doesn't find his wife to be attractive, there's nothing to dive deeper into. And that's just really how I feel about it. And even if they did have that conversation, I personally don't believe that should have been aired on TV. And I say that because there are a lot of other scenes that they don't air on TV. When you look at like the YouTubes and the videos and online videos of other people that were on past seasons, there's one thing that they all say that they have in common in their experience, and that is that they say that there are some scenes that are not showed. There's a lot of things that we do not see, when we're looking at the season. So that tells me the producers do pick and choose what they want to show. They could have taken that whole scene of Chris, not even the whole scene, just that portion of the conversation. They could have taken it out to spare Paige's feelings. Now I did share my opinion on this on Twitter. Some people agree that they should have shown it. Personally, I don't, because there's plenty of footage to show that he did not like her. He did not like how she looked. And that conversation, it just didn't need to show on TV. I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like how they showed that scene to Paige, considering she hadn't seen it yet. And then they have the nerve to ask her, how does it make her feel? And it's just like, the producers are very clever. They know what they're doing, and they know how to make a story, and I feel like not only did Chris's actions really hurt Paige, but I think that the need for dramatics, the need for drama, the need for ratings also hurt her as well, because of the fact that the producers really could have taken out a lot of the scenes from television. I don't know, but that's just how I feel about that. Let me know what you think about that. So now, let's get to Chris. Now, I do believe, I don't know how much I believe Chris's apology on the reunion. It almost kind of sounded like he rehearsed his apologies. He was giving pretty much the safest answers that he can give for all the questions, and for a lot of the questions he didn't even want to answer. So part of me feels like his main goal was to save his reputation, which has been kind of soiled on this show, and he also said whatever he needed to say to save whatever businesses he had. He's a very successful guy, and he is pretty much trying to save whatever he had going on business wise. Personally, I don't think that a lot of the things that he said on the show were genuine. But again, as I always say, I'm not God. Who am I to judge? I don't know what's in his heart. I can only go by what it seems like. Now, I follow Chris on Instagram. And Chris has been a little bit vocal for the last couple of weeks about things that go on the show. It seems like all the people on the show, they can't really talk about certain things. There are certain contracts involved and they can't talk about things at all. But Chris is very vocal about Dwight. Now, he went live tonight quite a few times, and he did reveal on Instagram that, him and Dwight had it out. The producers of the show reached out to him before the reunion and asked if it would be okay to bring Pastor Dwight on the reunion special. And he told them no, he's not ready to have that conversation with him. And this is all according to Chris. This is all allegedly. This is all according to him. He says that he told them no, he does not. If Pastor Dwight is there, he will not show up. And according to Chris, he says that they confirmed with him that Pastor Dwight would not be there. All according to Chris. And then Pastor Dwight was there anyway. Now, of course, we don't know for sure. We don't know who's lying and who's telling the truth at this point. But what I will say is, if it were true, that would explain how Chris acted with, Pastor Dwight. Maybe he wasn't ready to have that conversation with him. I do think that even though Chris has done like a ton of wrong, and I don't like how he's handled anything on this show, but at the same time, if that's supposed to be his friend, personally, I do find it a little bit odd that Pastor Dwight has made himself, very much a part of the show. I just haven't seen it, it just seems kind of weird to me. He accused Pastor Dwight of looking for clout, and I don't know. I don't want to, judge Pastor Dwight's character, but again, I do find it weird that he's inserting himself into his friend's business. I know myself, if I had a friend that did something that wasn't right to their husband or to their wife or something like that, sure, I would call them out on it, absolutely. But I don't know if I would insert myself in their business the way that Pastor Dwight has inserted himself in his business. Chris also alleges that Pastor Dwight tried to set Paige up with another guy while they are married. And this is all stuff that Chris said on his Instagram Live. He did say that. Now, part of me feels like, well, why does he care? He doesn't want Paige. I mean, it's obvious that he doesn't want her. But then again, that's still messy. That's still like inserting yourself in somebody. Like, even if you have morals and you're right, at some point you just kind of mind your own business or go to your friend and say, you're wrong, and just kind of step out and pray about it. There's nothing wrong with praying about a person. You don't have to go anywhere near their messy situation. Sometimes, to be honest, the best thing to do when a person is going through something is just try to counsel them, and then also pray about them. Pray for them. The power of prayer, it works. You don't have to include yourself in people's business. So because of all of that, I'm not accusing, his friend, Pastor Dwight, as looking for clout and all of that stuff. But I do find it kind of strange that he's inserted himself all up in the mix. So with that being said, like I've said in previous episodes, I'm not a huge fan of Chris or anything like that. But just a natural part of my personality. I always have to look for the good in someone. I do believe that all people have a form of good, and nobody is perfect. Nobody at all is perfect. So, I'm not saying that Chris was right in any way. I do, of course, I definitely sympathize with Paige, because I do think that Paige is the victim here. She's the one that's been the most hurt. But with that being said, I do think that there's a side of things, from Chris's point of view as well, that a part of me sympathizes with also, which I'll get into in my next video. But I don't know. That's my reaction to the Chris and Paige drama of this reunion episode. Make sure you like and share this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you can be notified when more videos come out. God willing, I'm going to release a reaction video to the whole episode, to the episode as a whole. And then also give my ideas of what's going to happen in the final episode of the reunion. Again, I do have some spoilers for that, but I have to make the video on that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. God bless. Peace.